Andy, here we are.
It's good to see you, Alex.
It's great to see you. Thank you for joining me. We're here to talk about your business today. Let's talk about bail.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So how do you want to get into it? Do you want to talk about how you got into it? Do you want to talk about current issues?
Sure. Let's talk about how I got into it. I was 25 years old. I had just started to turn my life around from being that teen that partied and did things they shouldn't do into a lifestyle of becoming responsible. And I met a guy that was in the bail business, and he was looking for some help. And I just fell into it with him. Gave up aspirations of college and that because I fell in love with the business. When I first did my very first bond and met with my first set of clients, I felt I was helping them. And it's amazing how they make you feel when that person walks out the jail and they're just so happy. But with a bail bond, they also have a lot of responsibility. So they have to be accountable to the bail bondsman and to the court to make sure they do everything right.
Seems like a very sensitive situation and something where, I mean, yes, you're tremendously helping an individual and their family, but then as you said, they are, what's the word? They must follow rules and regulations from you in the courts in order to be doing what they should be doing.
Absolutely. You know, what a bail bond is for is it's to help the person get out. Okay, let me start back. Most courts require, when I got into the business, they required a dollar amount to hold on to, guaranteeing the person would come back to court, or the court would be given that dollar amount. Well, someone would have a $10,000 bail, and I started in the state of California where it's 10%. And this was in 1989. I got my very first license in California.
A couple of years ago.
That tells you how old I am. Mom walks in, Junior's in jail for second DUI, and Mom was just sad and livid all at once. Angry at her son, sad that he's behind bars. And she sat down with me and she qualified for the bond, and she had the money, and we did it. And you know, sometimes a bondsman has to be like a bartender. I need to sit there and listen to your problems and see if I can help you feel better about what's going on while providing a service. Mom, we did the paperwork, we bailed her out. Now, Junior was arrested on a second DUI. And Mom was really worried. And when I say Junior, this kid was 23 years old, 2 DUIs. I sat down, I talked to Mom and asked her what his life was like, what his lifestyle is, because alcohol can be a beast, and other things he probably did too. So we bailed him out of jail, and part of the condition was I took him to AA meetings. I took him to court, wanted to make sure he did everything right, because you know, at 22 years old, second DUI, and there was an accident involved, you don't know what you're looking at when it comes to the court system. And I was there to walk him through it. And the mother was grateful, the kid was grateful. And really cool, he stayed sober for about 4 years until he was able to mature enough to learn what he was really about. Now, I say sober. That means he still doesn't drink. He just doesn't need to be involved with any kind of 12-step program or anything like that. And I still hear from him.
Wow.
33 years later, I still hear from
First client, and 30 years later, you're in touch. Yeah. Wow.
And that was my montage growing up in the business is I would take people that had apparent issues. I had probably taken 200 defendants to AA meetings. I've walked guys through rehabs. I've helped them check into Salvation Army, stuff like that. My job isn't just about bail. Okay. Yes, I provide a service of getting someone out. If they do everything right, the bond is over with. We say thank you. We shake each other's hands, probably never see each other again. But some of them miss court. And as part of my job is to get them back into court. Whether convincing them to go back to court, physically going to their home and taking them back to court, or actually hiring bail enforcement agents or bounty hunters to put them back in jail.
Wow.
And once they're back in jail, that bond is taken care of and it's over. So we've served our purpose by basically policing a warrant. We go out, we grab the person. Is there money involved? Absolutely, there's money involved. If this guy was to run to Antarctica and I didn't know where he was in the world, we would end up paying the court the $10,000 if the bond on that bond.
Or 50 or
Or
100 or whatever the number is, right?
Absolutely. I've seen bondsmen pay all the way up to $500,000 in bonds, and that money goes right to the county.
Wow.
So what we're basically doing is, one, we're helping the county get people out of jail,
Yep.
letting them live their life and do what they need to do while going back to court.
Mm-hmm. Preparing also for a potential prison sentence, right?
We prepare for all of that. We
Yeah.
sit down. We really sit down with these people. We talk to them. A lot of them don't want to talk to us. But the ones that need help, we're there for. And we always put our hand out. We're meeting with the family. We meet with the defendant after he gets out. We put our hand out there. I mean, we still have clients that call us years after we bailed out just to say hi.
Wow.
I've got a special guy that works in my office that has worked at numerous rehabs, and his job is just to help people that want to get clean and sober, or people that want to turn their lives around. That's one of our biggest things. Is we don't want you to be a repeat client. We don't want you to be a repeat offender. We want to protect our society and clean it up at the same time.
I have had the benefit of knowing you for years, but it's resonating through what you're saying now that there's an underlying, we care about the individual, we care about what's happening. Yes, we're in business to make money, obviously, but it goes beyond that, and I respect and appreciate that very much. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I would guess that, maybe these individuals might otherwise feel forgotten, not cared for, without option maybe, right? I can't speak to, let's say competitors in your space, but I don't get the feeling that they're all having an individual in-house that's, just there to make sure things go smoothly. Like that just doesn't seem like the norm to me. Is that a fair statement?
Not. I mean, the normal bail bondsman takes your money, writes a bail, and that's it until there's a problem.
I see.
We don't do that. We go the extra mile. I've been offered numerous other careers in my last 35 years.
Yeah.
I can do anything.
Yeah.
But I've stuck with bail because it keeps me up front. And I see clients sometimes that make me extremely grateful for where I'm at in life. Because at any point growing up, I could have gone left instead of right.
Yeah.
I could have gone to jail. I could have been killed on the streets. I could have done any of that. And to give a little history is, between 21 and 23 years old, I actually was homeless in Reno, Nevada.
Wow.
I drank too much. I did what I shouldn't have done. And after only getting my life back together, did I fall into this business. And what's funny is I've never been to jail, as I knock on wood. I've never been to jail. So I've never experienced it, but I've been close because people do stupid things. And that I never got there, and I was able to turn my life around and find my own higher power and really care about people. Do I do what I do? The money's great, okay? And I'm not talking billions or millions or anything like that. The money's good, okay? I'm very happy with that. But it's outweighed by the people I get to help.
Sure.
And that's the problem with people that don't know me. They assume I'm a bondsman just trying to make a buck. Of course I'm trying to make a buck. Everyone on the planet is trying to make a buck. But think about the people you help while you're making that buck. And I'm helping a lot of people. And the biggest gratitude I get is when a mom calls me after he goes through the process and says, thank you.
I'm just thinking back to something you said a few minutes ago. It's just, again, you're getting somebody out. It's a lessening of a burden of cost associated with housing that individual until a trial, right? Or until a resolution.
Absolutely.
So there's a benefit there. And also that individual has the ability, should they be facing a term of imprisonment, to put their life in order, to spend time with the family, whatever that looks like, right? To get their situation under control. And to me, that seems like it's very hard to put a dollar figure to that.
It is. And our society has changed a lot in the last 25 years. We've had a lot of legislators work on reducing, say, B felonies to D felonies, so people are looking at less time. We have specialty courts designed to keep people out of prison. We've got a veterans court. We've got a drug court. We've got an anger court. All of these are specialty courts that provide the services those people need for the reason behind their arrest. The one thing about a bail bond, I get people out of jail. Okay. Most counties charge the state between $100 and $300 a day per defendant.
Wow.
Bail bond takes that burden off there. The person's out. Okay. They're living their life. They're making money for their family. They're doing what they need to do to enforce their family lifestyle. Then we keep them out. They go to court every time they're ordered to. Not everyone goes to prison. Not everyone goes to jail. I would say it's probably 35% of the people convicted go to actual prison.
Seems low.
It is low.
Yeah.
It absolutely is low.
It's even more of a reason why they shouldn't be in detention in the first place, right?
They shouldn't be in detention. They don't need it. We not only save on those costs, but if a defendant misses court, the marshals don't have to go after them. The sheriff's department don't have to go after them. We will. We will find them. We will return them to custody, return them to court, do what we need to do. We take a lot of burden off the state. We really do.
It also seems that you take quite a significant risk in some cases. Wouldn't you agree? Like,
oh, absolutely.
I mean, you gave the story of Antarctica. Like, let's say it's less than that. Let's say somebody runs off to a nearby state, right? I'm sure it's happened to you countless times. You have whatever costs associated with returning that individual.
Well, I want to be straightforward.
Sure.
When we sell the bond, the individual that's bailing that person out is taking financial responsibility for that bond, and they're paying the money to use the bond.
Okay.
So they're technically on the hook.
Okay.
When someone misses court, I am also on the hook. Guy runs to California. California's made it very difficult for us to grab people over there or go through the process to get them arrested. But the state of Nevada's made it difficult also because a lot of jurisdictions in our state will not issue a warrant outside of Nevada. They will not put a warrant into NCIC. So Joe defendant commits a burglary here, hurts a family, he gets bailed out, he skips court, he runs to New Jersey. There's no warrant in New Jersey to put him back in custody when he gets arrested there for petty theft.
Wow.
We actually had that example a few days ago. We bailed this kid on a $50,000 bail and he's on the run.
Wow.
He went to Texas. He got arrested for a minor crime. The warrant here in Nevada never popped up.
Wow.
Because it's not an NCIC. If it would have popped up, he would have been held on that and notified Nevada of it. And Nevada had the choice to either say, we don't want him, let him go, or we bring him back.
And he had to pay, correct me if I'm wrong, somewhere in the vicinity of $500 to $7,500 in order to get himself out on that amount.
I felt comfortable helping his mother and family members get him out. They signed for the bond, taking responsibility for the $50,000, but they did not have all of the $7,500. We actually only took $3,000 down and gave them an option to make payments on the rest.
Wow.
With no interest.
Wow.
So we didn't get all our money.
And the person didn't show up for court. So you have costs associated with returning him.
Absolutely.
Who's paying that? You?
I am.
You lose it?
Our company pays that. My bail agency. It's lost.
It's not, but
unless the family steps up and reimburses us.
Could you force some action on them in order to pay that?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
If the assets are there, if they have jobs, things like that. But
wow. So tremendous risk to you.
Sometimes it's not worth it.
I get it. Yeah.
Tremendous
risk to you. Wow. Talk to me about these in the vein of caring and in the vein of going beyond just collecting money and that's it. It seems, I know this again because we know each other, but explain your opinion of giving grace, giving these abilities to pay what you can type situation, if you would.
Let me throw this out there first. I'm kind of I don't want to say split personality, but I've got two emotions here. One, I'm a bail bondsman, and I have been for 34 years helping people. But I'm also a citizen of this great city and state. Am I happy with the way the criminal justice system works? Hell no. But do I do my job and rely on the laws and all that to be able to do my job? Absolutely. And the reason I'm bringing that up is, and everyone's going to tell me that I'm self-serving, but as a bail agent, I bail someone on that $50,000 and that ran to Texas, if he was in NCIC, yes, I would get off that bond. But justice would be served too.
Mm-hmm.
This kid needs to be brought back to Nevada. He needs to be put in jail, and he needs to go through the court system like he's supposed to.
Yeah.
And we either need to release him because he was found not guilty, or sentence him because he was found guilty. He needs to pay for his crime if he's found guilty. If he's not, great. He gets to go on his way and leave this behind him. But I'm still a citizen. I want people to be held accountable for their actions, especially when those actions hurt others. I'm a person that doesn't only feel that your physical safety is important, but so is all the other all the material things out there. When a group of thugs break into a store and steal everything, everyone's like, well, no one's hurt, insurance will cover it. Wrong. My insurance rates are going to go up. Your insurance rates are going to go up. The guy videoing this insurance rates are going to go up. Everyone's going to go up. So how is it fair? We need to hold everybody accountable for their actions and hold them to justice. That's what I feel. Now, my heart goes out to a lot of these people. I have people that miss court, but are sitting at home so afraid they're going to go to prison for 20 years for a DUI or a petty theft, when they're looking at a lot of money they're going to lose, but they're not looking at prison unless they're habitual. I mean, if somebody drives on 4 DUIs, they should go to prison. I mean, they're not getting it. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, with the way our specialty courts are, they've given him every opportunity to go to rehab, go to treatment, do whatever he needs to do, and it's just not working. So I hope that kind of answers some of your question.
It certainly does, and I thought it was beautifully articulated. I still am unclear, like this particular gentleman we keep referencing, the Texas guy. Mm-hmm. So I had 2 points come to my mind. Why is he not in the system? Number one. And number two, I'm still unclear of, are you paying $50,000 to the courts if you can't find this person, or you're personally responsible for this if you cannot collect it from the family or whoever signed for him?
Absolutely. My agency is responsible.
Your agency is going to lose.
I'm a part owner. Yes.
Wow.
I have a partner, but both of us are going to lose.
Wow.
We're still on him. We're still tracking him. We're trying to find him.
Wow.
And hopefully we'll be very successful doing that. But because of that, it's turning his family upside down because we're quizzing them. We're testing, we're checking with them. We're doing everything we can in our power. Why the state doesn't put everything into NCIC, I've never gotten a straight answer out of anyone.
Wow.
Ever.
What good I don't understand what good possibly could come out of that.
I don't either.
It makes no sense to me.
I don't either. There are states out there that give bonds on access to NCIC. We can't enter anything, but we can tell what's there. Mm-hmm. There's states that if someone fails to appear, we can go to the magistrate and request them put in an NCIC. They will. But here they don't do it. We either have an internal state warrant system or a bordering state warrant system or a national, which is called NCIC. I don't understand how it would be so expensive that they wouldn't take the time to put it into NCIC. I really don't understand.
Yeah, the first thing that came to my mind, is this a manpower problem? Is it let's just say, I don't know, the nature of politics maybe at this particular moment? I can't understand what possibly that would be.
It can't be politics because I've been asking that question for 30 years.
I get it. It's not from yesterday. Yeah,
it's not yesterday. It's over 30 years.
Yeah.
I've even asked an attorney. I've sent an attorney today requesting he file a motion on the case demanding that they put this kid in Texas into NCIC. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know if they will.
And he's in custody now in Texas?
No. He's out of custody.
He's out, okay.
He's out of custody. What happened was he got arrested on what he did in Texas, but there was no warrant in the system.
I see.
So they released him.
Wow.
And I've got the attorney going to put him to see if we can get an NCIC detainer on him. So if he gets arrested again, he won't be released.
I see.
It's $50,000 bail. I don't know the charges off the top of my head, but they're pretty intense for Nevada to put a $50,000 bail on him.
And just so I'm wondering, and I wonder if anyone else might, is this $50K, you were immediately responsible to give it at the time the person doesn't show up? How does that work?
No, the state law in Nevada is a little forgiving, is a little lax on that, which is wonderful, which we need. The court actually gives us time to go find him.
I see. There's a grace period.
Yeah, we have 180 days.
Oh, wow.
But on the 181st day, we better pay that check.
I see.
And I don't mind paying those. Let me back up. Take that out. I understand that obligation of paying that, but I'm now going to lose out because a government entity didn't do something.
Yeah, correct.
If that makes sense.
Of course it makes sense.
Right.
So the guy did something wrong in Nevada, did something wrong in Texas, some basic thing of putting him into a system wasn't followed, and now nice Andy is paying a significant fee because of that when they were already in a custody situation there.
Either nice Andy, or if I go after mom,
poor mom.
I could destroy mom's retirement because of this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really a hardship there.
It really is. Yeah.
When if we just put everything together. But then again, let's not talk about bail bonds. Let's talk about me as a citizen of this great state. I want justice served. Everyone that commits a crime in the state of Nevada that is a felony should have his warrant put into NCIC.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the fear of people realizing more crime happens in Nevada than we admit. If it's such a tourism town that we don't want this stuff to get out, I don't know. Now, that's the civil side of my heart. Okay. On the bail bond side, I'm going to look as a self-serving human being. So
I get it.
So sometimes I wish sometimes I wish when I retire, I could become a whistleblower on a lot of this stuff but I'm in the industry and I see why it works. It's not the best justice system, but it's the best in the world. We have an amazing justice system, except when it comes to holding people accountable. And how much money are they saving by not putting it into NCIC? If it's $100 per person, let me know and I'll give you the $100, put them into NCIC.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the government making money. I really don't.
Sure,
So let's do what we got to do.
It's a very good point. Really good point. So where do you see things going now in the industry generally?
It's really hard to tell. Our state has a lot of legislators that are liberals, or they actually work in the criminal justice system as a defender. So they don't want their people punished. They don't want their people hurt. I mean, it's like the double-edged sword I have. How do you set laws on your constituents, but defend them over here?
Interesting.
It's hard.
Yeah, when stricter laws will have a, let's say, negative effect on your client, right?
Correct.
I get it.
Now, we also have a huge bail, how do I put it, a big uproar in the bail industry that bail bonds hurts dark-skinned people. This is advertised in the paper. This is not me coming off with dark-skinned people. It is in the paper. You see it. In the state of Nevada, we had 2 people stuck in CCDC on $1,000 bail. You would think no big deal, right? Wrong. They sat there and sat there and sat there. And our Chief Justice of the Supreme Court got wind of that. So he has revamped our whole bail system. Clark County has also come up with tracking systems where they install software on your cell phone or they put an ankle monitor on you and they let them go. There's a rumor that there are several people out on murder waiting to be tried for murder that have ankle monitors on.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true or not. I believe it is. But when they cut those off, who goes after them? Our local sheriff and the marshals. Do they have time? Do they have the money? While they're also tackling homeless problems on the streets?
It kind of sounds to me that, there's people that are in that shouldn't be, and there's people that are out that shouldn't be, potentially, on the severity of the crime, I mean.
I don't want to say yes and no, but I do want to go a little farther about these 2 people that were in jail on $1,000 bonds. The one thing that bothers me about the way this Chief Justice just made his decision is, yes, they were in custody. Did anybody call their family to see if their family was willing to help them? Did anybody check with any of their friends to see if anybody was helped them? I hate to say it, but no, I don't hate to say it. I want to be very honest with this. A lot of my clients are criminals, okay? And they will burn anyone to get out of jail. I have seen clients burn their mother, their father, their grandmother. Maybe these two guys are guys that just have burnt every bridge in the world and no one wants to help them. But some Chief Justice sitting up in Carson City makes a blanket statement that they shouldn't be in jail. Why not?
Yeah.
What's their criminal record like? What have they done? I mean, have they never been arrested in jail? I see it. I find it hard to believe in this situation that any judge that sits on the bench in Clark County didn't release them if they have a clean record.
Interesting.
I don't see any judge leaving these guys in jail on $1,000 bail if everything was right.
Yeah, it's such a good point. You made a point a little earlier that, $50K in Nevada is a big deal.
Absolutely.
So, the inverse of that is, these small numbers, why would they even bother? Why would they even bother?
Exactly.
That's so interesting.
But now somebody will get arrested on domestic violence with substantial bodily harm, and he'll go to court and the judge will put an ankle monitor on him.
Wow.
One of my biggest pet peeves is, just to throw this out there, is we have gone out and we bailed people out on $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 bails. They've gone out, they've missed court. We've had to arrest them and put them back in court. Okay? They go to court the next morning and the judge gives them a $10,000 bail or an OR. The guy had a much higher bail, skipped, and they reward him with a lower bail.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, that's just what I see. And I see it a lot.
Wow. I have one question for you that is a burning question for me.
Shoot.
Why does the bail industry in general have a negative connotation or feeling to it? Number one, do you agree with me that it does, to a layman like me, right? And why the heck is that? Why are there restrictions on bail from an advertising perspective? Why are these things happening?
We are considered by Google an unsavory business. The same way a check cashing, payday loan, pawn shops. But there's about 20% of this city that couldn't operate or live without those things. Mm-hmm. We're just doing our job. So about 10 years ago, Google said, we're not going to let you advertise on Google anymore. You're done. Thank God they don't blackball our websites.
Yeah.
But, the problem is they look at us as pariah on the criminal justice system. We're making money. Okay. Here's the insanity behind that. I know attorneys who make money off this system. I know judges, cops, everyone gets paid for this industry. And we're trying to provide a service that's in the Constitution. It's legal. It's above board. I don't know why anybody gives us any mind over it. Just let us do our job.
Yeah, very interesting.
Let's protect our city.